Every 4 years, states across America hold either a caucus or a primary election to narrow down candidates in the country's two major political parties. These names will be included on the ballot for the national presidential election. But what is the difference between a caucus and a primary election? We spoke to our in-house expert and senior political correspondent, Glenn Mills, who helped us break it down.
A caucus is a gathering of local neighborhoods. It's run by the state parties. So the Utah Democratic Party and the Utah Republican Party would run the caucus system. People from local neighborhoods will gather at a school, for example, and they'll begin to talk about the candidates, and then they'll cast their votes there. It can be on paper ballot or other means of voting. A primary is run by the state. Those are the key differences to keep in mind right there. A primary is run by the state and county clerks. Caucuses are run by the individual parties.
On Super Tuesday, Glenn says this presidential primary will run just like any other election we've had in previous years.
It's mostly done by mail-in ballot. So ballots are mailed to your home. You have an opportunity to fill that ballot out and send it back. You just need to make sure you're following the deadlines on that. Or there are also same-day election options as well. So different polling places will be open for you to go out. And that is run through your local county clerk and overseen by the state.
In 2016, Utah held a presidential caucus, but Glenn said the Utah Democratic and Republican parties struggled.
Had really long lines, they were running out of ballots, so there was quite a bit of chaos. Now keep in mind, the local parties have a handful of employees as compared to county clerks and the state elections office. So they really relied on volunteers to help keep that process moving, and both of them just got overwhelmed.
Glenn says the state legislature took a look at the struggles with the chairman from both parties.
And there was this effort to change the presidential caucus to a primary in the state legislature over the last couple of years.
Caucuses can also be an opportunity to mingle with people in your neighborhood and get a feel for what people are thinking about the different candidates.
Primary is going to be more efficient and more convenient. As I mentioned, it's mostly mail-in ballot, so the ballot is going to come right to your home. We're going to have an opportunity to look through all the candidates, do your research, and then decide which one you want.
There are two types of presidential primaries. There's the open and the closed primaries. The Utah Republican Party has a closed primary.
That means you have to be a member of that party to be able to participate in that primary election.
But the Utah Democratic Party has an open primary.
So you can be Democrat, you can be independent, you can be a number of other parties, and you can still vote in the Democratic primary. You just have to make sure that if you're not Democrat or registered as Democrat, that you let your county clerk know that you want to participate in the Democratic primary so that they can get you a ballot for that. This year will be a good test. We'll be watching the move from caucus to primary. I do suspect that it's going to run more smoothly, but we'll have to kind of see how it all plays out on election night.
Super Tuesday is on March 3rd. You can register to vote at vote.utah.gov. I'm Mercy Owusu, ABC4.com.